Now, one of the biggest challenges the world is facing today is the challenges surrounding displaced people. The world is in a refugee crisis, hitting record numbers like we have never seen before. The most shocking part is there is no sign of improvement. Many of these displaced people travel tremendous distances to seek a better life. Timo Schmidt and Florian Volz are the creators of Refugee Roads, a bicycle tour across Europe that gives an insight to the experiences of those displaced people who undertake the journey along the Balkan route. They're not only experiencing it for themselves, they're creating a documentary series at the same time so the rest of the world can gain insight. Now, for more on this, I'm joined in studio by our Middle East correspondent, Emily Rose. Emily, you had the pleasure of meeting these gentlemen. Tell me a bit about it.
Yes, Sarah, it was amazing. We just kind of crossed paths as we were both on this road to take a closer look at the refugee crisis. We were in Lesbos, the Greek island of Lesbos, which is the first entry point for a lot of these refugees that come overseas from Turkey. They come on boats, they make this sort of courageous journey, and that's where I met Timo and Florian. What they're doing is they're going back to retrace their steps, and these young men, initially they did the Balkan route. It's been deemed the Balkan route, but they did it backwards. They started in The Hague, where they're from, and they biked with a GoPro and their bikes all the way through to the trail the other way, because refugees, they come through Lesbos and they actually hope to go to more Western countries in Western Europe. And so they did it backwards, and they traced all of these different stories, and it was so interesting to meet them. I really wanted to introduce them to you. My biggest question for them was, you're back now, you were there in 2016 during the influx of refugees that came when the entire island was seeing the major climax of this crisis. Now you're back. What do you see as different? What do you see as changed? What do you feel is the same? So I'll just show you exactly what they answered.
I personally didn't have that feeling that much changed. It's a lot of ad hoc work. It's a lot of still emergency humanitarian relief and prevention, that work, that area. It's difficult, I think, if you're a volunteer, if you're an aid organization, anyone really, to move in that sector and do work in that area. Yeah.
The sad part for me being here now again is that we are here again, in a way. Because there are still refugees on this island. We spoke to one in Moria that just came 2 weeks ago. But we also spoke to people that have been here since 2015. Yeah, that's the sad part for me, is that we're still here to document what's happening, and that there hasn't been a way forward yet. I don't think you can solve the whole thing, but I do feel like there could have been more done in the last 3 years.